Tim, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the second thing you and I were going to talk about today. Bittersweet for me because when I woke up today, saw the news. I woke up late because been working my ass off at work. Woke up at 1 p.m. I know, bright and early. Woke up to the news that the Yankees have declined Anthony Rizzo's 2025
Yes, I saw this
club option this year. I woke up to it was all over Twitter today. I don't know why, because the article I'm looking at is from November, but I think it's because a lot of people today were talking about like 5 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 4 days ago. There's a big talk with White Sox, or not White Sox, but Cub fans. I don't know why I brought up the White Sox. Cub fans of
that was going to be news to me if you said the White Sox one.
I don't know. I think it's because I'm looking at this Yankee jersey right now. It's making me think of a White Sox jersey. Cub fans are talking about whether or not the Cubs should bring back Anthony Rizzo. Now, before I just shoot the question your way, I do want to say that Anthony Rizzo spent 3.5 years with the Yankees, had some good moments. In 370 games with New York, he hit 60 bombs, 172 RBIs, and had splits of a 234 average. So basically his splits were 234, 326, 409, with the 234 being his average. Last year alone, in 2024, he played just 92 games due to injury. He had 77 hits, 12 of them doubles, 8 of them home runs, 35 RBIs, and had 27 walks. However, he had 65 strikeouts and an average of 228. Tim, this is where I come to the question.
Not really that far off of his whole average with them as a Yankee.
I'm going to ask you this, though. Should the Cubs think of, I'm not going to say bring him back for sure. I'm going to say, should they think about bringing back Anthony Rizzo?
Should the Cubs think about bringing him back?
Yes.
No, I don't see a place for him on the team anymore.
Okay.
If you brought him back, you would have to. You know what though? No. You know what? If we were to swap him and Justin Turner, I would be 100% okay with that. Because that he's filling the role that Anthony Rizzo would fill if he came back to the team. I understand his connection to the city, and he took all of that guidance knowledge that he learned from David Ross, and he's been that towards younger players, and there's a need and a want for him to coach young guys. Bring him back as a coach. I would be fine with that. But as a player, I don't really see a spot for him. Was that unfair?
No, it's not unfair. I do agree with you. Our roster isn't the most conducive to Anthony Rizzo right now, only because you do bring up Justin Turner. You bring up, I'm going to bring up now John Birdie, 2 guys that could be open spots for Rizzo. I do also think that having Workman, having Shaw, and I'm not saying to get rid of Shaw by any means. Those 4 guys, it's okay. You'd have to give up one of those roster spots. You're not going to give up a pitching roster spot.
You don't have enough outfielders to give up one of them.
Yeah, you're not going to give up a pitching roster spot because our bullpen is dog shit anyway.
Okay, how about this? Pitch me Anthony Rizzo though.
So the way I would look at Anthony Rizzo, and yet again, some people might disagree with me, some might agree with me. He would be he would be basically what David Ross was during the championship year. He would be that extra coach on the bench who's Like, and I say that, and it's like he'd be the player coach, basically. He'd be on the bench. He'd step in when like either Bush needs a day off or Seiya needs a day off. He could be that DH first baseman. Not going to trust him in right. He's basically filling in on days off. It's a long season. And I'll be honest, the guy that I look to, that if I was going to make this decision, the guy I would DFA in order to fill up that roster spot would sadly be John Birdie. And the reason why I say that overall is Birdie, let me look at his contract really quick, because you brought up a great point with Turner, only because Turner's contract, he signed a 1-year contract with a mutual like option for next year, meaning if he says no or the Cubs say no, he's out. So both parties have to say, yes, we want you back for next year. John Birdie's contract, yeah, he signed a 1-year with the Cubs as well. So both these guys are done at the end of the year. If it's between Turner and Birdie for me, as I'm doing this kind of weird motion with my hands, if it's Birdie or Turner for me, I'm replacing Birdie with Rizzo, because I think Justin Turner, I think you're a little bit too hard on Justin Turner. And the only reason I say that is Turner is also a guy who has playoff experience. He's won a World Series with the Dodgers. He knows what it takes to win a World Series. Having two guys like that on the bench who can contribute, it's never a bad thing. Especially with this Cubs team, which, name a Cubs player right now in the starting 9 that has playoff experience and then beyond that has World Series experience.
Ian Happ.
What, one? Dansby Swanson? They made the playoffs with the Braves, right? Was Swanson there when they went to the series? Now I gotta look back.
I think so.
Now I gotta look back. I think he was there when they went to the let's see. Dansby Swanson was with the Braves from, yeah, because he's a World Series champion with them. So like what? Dansby's your only one. Dansby and Tucker are your only ones with World Series experience, because I believe Tucker was with the Astros when they went to the World Series.
And Happ was not on the Cubs main roster when they won.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't go to the playoffs afterwards. I think technically we go in the COVID
we won
year?
2017. I think we won 2017.
Well, okay, if you count that wild card game.
Well,
we played a one wild card game against, or was it the one wild card game? I think that was the one where we played against the Rockies.
It's not about knowing how to. It's not about being on a team that went to the playoffs or won a bunch of games. Like, do we really want to sacrifice 2 bench places for like 2 player coaches?
I don't think how it could. I don't see how it could hurt.
If you think, well, there are liabilities in the terms of playing the game.
Yeah, but how many games are they virtual? I'm going to ask you this: how many games do you think John Birdie's playing this year? In your mind, how many games would he be playing this year?
That's really tough.
Because with the Yankees, he played 25. 100.
Oh no, I think he'll play. I'd like to see him play like 90 or 100.
Okay, and that's only because we don't have a for sure answer at third base.
Well, no, you know what? No, he's going to be pinch. I mean, there's obviously got to be like an injury for him to be a starter.
I'll put it this way: how many games is he starting?
50 would be good, I would say. If he played like 11 or something and they got sent down, you know, I just think that Birdie has, he's the jack of all trades, master of none, you know? That's really what I think of him. And we don't really have somebody that can do that. So that kind of player has always been attractive to me, that I've always wanted to have that kind of guy on the team.
The other thing too, we got to think about, maybe I'm not thinking about this. Maybe I'm letting my Anthony Rizzo love, because I love Anthony Rizzo, blind me a little bit, is if you look at AAA, we got guys like Owen Cassie. We got Ballesteros, Trianos, who you really like,
Mhm. Yeah, I do like
Alcantara.
Triantos.
Like, how long until? Because I'm thinking Cassie, Trianos, Ballestero, and Alcantara. Those are the four that at some point people go, okay, when do we give them a chance? Or if there's an injury, they come up and get a chance to ball out. Signing a Rizzo
It's a good
would
problem to
hurt
have, right?
that because you're not gonna throw Turner or Rizzo to the minors.
You're not bringing Rizzo and not have him on the 40 man either, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like these guys, a lot of these guys you mentioned are on the 40 man, if
yeah.
not all of them. So yeah, you it would have to be a trade, right? Unless you're releasing somebody,
What are you talking about?
which to get Rizzo on the team.
Well, he's a free agent, so we'd have to basically choose someone to
Oh, well, so then you'd have to
DFA.
release somebody or
Yeah,
DFA him. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I don't see it happening realistically.
Hmm.
Like ideally, would I love him to come back and hit 8 homers for us this year? God, I would fucking cry.
Hmm.
Mark it down. First time I did that. I don't swear often.
We're not marking him this year. We're not bleeping him out this
We're
year.
not?
No.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Seems like I get to swear.
Yeah, that would be amazing, but
Mhm.
it's just if you said swap him for Turner right now, I'm going, yes, 100% stamp it. You got my approval. They're the same guy in my head.
Makes
And
sense.
that's pretty much it.
Makes sense. Side note, this is off of Rizzo a little bit, but I want to ask this just because I brought it up. Um, do you think we see one, if not more, of Cassie, Ballesteros, Trianos, or Alcantara this season? One or more, and who on the main roster?
More.
Because you know who's the one
I
I'm
think
looking at?
it's
Ballesteros,
yeah, tell me.
catcher, first base. I think that
You think so?
either him or
I wasn't gonna pick him, but
either
your
him
confidence
or
is
like a
actually more
Cassie
impressive.
Alcantara if we feel like we need outfield help or if an outfielder gets hurt.
I think Alcantara definitely. He's been there the longest. He's probably the
Mhm.
most ready for the spotlight.
The
Um,
most ready at
Owen
22.
Cassie, I feel like they're gonna. If I had to pick, I think it would be Triantos and Alcantara.
Okay.
That would be my gut reaction.
Is it only because you really like Trianos?
No, I think they're trying to protect Cassie
Okay.
um, as long as they can, and I think that's a
Mm.
really bright, smart move to do.
Yeah. Because I mean, we
I
also
can't
got.
wait till he's up playing corner or outfield for us, dude. He's
Mhm.
gonna be so good.
And
Unless they pull some bonehead trade with him for a crummy 38-year-old reliever,
Mhm. I mean, it could happen. We could need relief help
yeah,
if this bullpen.
yeah.
I know it's only one series, but well, two series. But this
I know, but
bullpen
that would break my heart.
scares
I
me.
I think Owen Cassie's probably no, I think he's gonna be the best of those 4 that you just mentioned.
Okay.
And I know I've always talked about how I love Triantos. James Triantos is he just fits that.
Quick question for you as you pause to give me this insight. Am I wrong to leave off names like Christian Franklin, Ben Cowles, and Jonathan Long, who are also in AAA right now?
No, you are not wrong.
Okay, because I just don't see
No,
any of
you
those
named
three
you
getting the
named the
call up.
top prospects.
Hmm. Yeah.
No, I don't see those guys coming up unless it's dire.
Does
And
Gage get
there's a
sent down at
situation
some
where they want
point?
to. What's that?
Does Gage get sent down at some point? Because
Yeah, probably.
Shaw's not getting sent down.
I don't think so. I think they're pushing for like I think I don't know if you mentioned it in the stream, but MLB is already saying that he could be rookie of the year. So
Yeah,
I
he's
think they're trying to
third.
push for as many at bats as he can get
He's
this year.
third in NL
Third,
Rookie of
yes,
the Year
yes,
voting
third.
to start the season. Um,
In
well,
Germany, we do this.
in Germany, we do this. Before we move on to the final topic, let us know what you guys think. I know it was a little shorter, but should the Cubs bring back Anthony Rizzo? I think it would be only beneficial. I don't think it would hurt the team a lot, but I do understand the people out there that are like, nah, it just ain't the right time. We don't got the space. What do you guys think? I'm for it. Tim's against it. But it's not like Tim hates Anthony Rizzo. I'm not saying that's why he's against it.
I hate him.
As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.